Hi there, my name is Tyler DesRoches. I'm an associate professor at the School of Sustainability. I'm also the Deputy Director of Student Success, and I have been asked to speak to you about the relationship between sustainability and justice. So I'm guessing that most people have seen the 3 E's of sustainability. It's a Venn diagram, and sustainability is meant to be where the environment, equity, and economics coincide. That is one kind of important conception of sustainability. Another kind of competing conception, as it were, popular among ecological economists is what's known as the embedded economy. The key idea here is that the human economic activity and all of our social relations, they happen within an environment. They happen within places where there are constraints, and if we exceed these constraints, we do so at our peril. And so an economy that can successfully continue on, perpetuate itself through space and time, all the while abiding these environmental or ecological constraints, is considered to be one that is sustainable. So these are just 2 kind of broad conceptions of sustainability. A few other very popular ones is the Brundtland Report. I'm guessing that many of you have been introduced to this definition here. The focus is on the needs, so meeting the needs of the current generation without compromising the ability for future generations to meet their own needs. Then there are resource economists who focus on a social welfare function over space and time. And so an economy is sustainable if and only if social welfare, which really means well-being, human well-being, is equal to or greater than 0 over time. And so what resource economists are really interested in is this idea that we should, if you're going to have a sustainable economy, it should be an economy where human well-being is non-declining over time. And finally, just a 5th kind of conception of sustainability, and then we'll talk about the potential relationship with justice, is the so-called resilience paradigm. And this is, resilience is typically taken to be the property of a system, and I'll just let you read that yourself in the interest of time. Okay, so we just went over, like, very quickly, like schematically even, 5 different conceptions of sustainability, of what it is. There's something else that's kind of missing, or that could be stated in more explicit terms, I think, than what many sustainability scientists are want to acknowledge. And that is, sustainable systems, they have to be good in some way, and they have to be good for some beings, some morally relevant beings. So some goods that seem, at least relevant prima facie as a kind of first pass are things like equity and human well-being. Like, these are goods, and non-pecuniary, meaning they're not material goods that you buy in the marketplace. These are goods of human life. These things seem to be, an important part of sustainability. Now, I think that a lot of sustainability scientists and scholars would definitely go so far to say that justice is also one of these key goods, these key non-pecuniary goods that is essential to sustainability. So what that means, if that's true, is that you could not really have a sustainable society without also having justice. We can all imagine situations where you have an economic system where the injustice is completely rampant, it's everywhere, and nobody would really desire to have that kind of a system. And so if we're going to have a sustainable system, it seems like it's going to have to also be just in some way. Justice is going to be central to sustainability. So here's just one kind of way to define sustainability, and this actually comes from some of my own research. And here I define an ideal sustainable system as a target system is ideally sustainable if and only if, 1, it persists over some acceptable and finite period of time. 2, after all, there's no system that can last forever. 2, that it realizes a non-empty set of goods. So there's going to be some set of goods, and I just mentioned on the previous slide that one of those goods is going to be justice. And who are those goods for? That's an important question that needs to be answered as well. It's for beings who are worthy of moral consideration. So that kind of definition raises lots and lots of questions, but questions are good. They expand our mind and they get us thinking critically about the relationship between justice and sustainability. So that definition begs the question, it begs many questions, one of which target system? What's the system that we're talking about? What kind of social ecological system? What kind of social system are we talking about? Which goods are essential to sustainability? For example, I think that justice is essential, absolutely essential in some way to sustainability, even though there might be some rampant theoretical disagreement about what actually constitutes justice. Third, which beings deserve moral consideration? Is it human beings or is it other kinds of creatures as well? Is it other sentient creatures who are capable of feeling pleasure and pain, or only human beings? And finally, how long must a system persist over time to qualify as sustainable? The definition on the previous slide, it opens itself up to all kinds of questions. And I think that part of the answer to these questions is going to definitely involve justice. And so hopefully now at the end of this extremely brief lecture, as it were, you have some really big questions about what exactly are the relationship between justice and sustainability. Thank you.